he was that dude. He was gave a reference when he came from the back. He like, who's
I actually got you on video doing that. This particular piece is called a cracked crystal. A cracked crystal. Flawed, but still beautiful. So being hurt again is what you fear. You try to have a healed heart, but your mind keeps you guarded when love comes near. You're broken in pieces in the inside, but on the outside, you look alive and whole. Love could have been your spark, but now you're plagued with a guarded heart that's attached to your soul. Flawed, but still beautiful. A cracked crystal because it's hard not to be bitter from the games. The heart is not a toy, but it's played with so much that trust is hard to gain. You've gotten up from being knocked down, but it's hard to forget what floored you. To be shattered by someone you thought adored you. A cracked crystal. Flawed, but still beautiful. So losses in love left you scared and paranoid. You try not to let your past control you, but you can't seem to get over your painful void. It's hard to push your pain aside, but somehow you have to keep on living. You have to remember who you were before the hurt. And positivity is what you must keep on giving. Flawed, but still beautiful. A cracked crystal because it's hard to fight all your feelings of pure hate. It'll have you questioning God because how can someone all loving allow this fate? A cracked crystal, flawed, but still beautiful because you got promised forever, but they played with your mind. But I guess they didn't realize that forever, it actually lasts a long time. I was loyal to a fault because 100% love is what I give, and I need you to give that same with me. But I realize that love doesn't always love you back, and that's one of life's harshest honesties. Flawed, but still beautiful. A cracked crystal. You try to keep your cool and keep things proper and play by all the rules. But yet and still, in spite of your sacrifices, you got left played just like a fool. A cracked crystal. Flawed, but still beautiful. Because she said, I do, but now she doesn't. I thought she would be my forever love. But in the end, she wasn't. In my heart, there's a wound that is here to stay. On the outside, I've healed from the scars, or at least it seems that way. Flawed, but still beautiful. A cracked crystal, because it's impossible to forget what gave you a shattered heart. But this piece is just expression for anyone who's came from a painful halt. There's hope at the end of all this, and there's always a fresh start. Don't let that or anything else dim your light, which will be your spark. Using this lesson as a blessing is a move that is smart. Way too many times we act like we are not hurt, but we actually are. So take this lesson because it can be useful, because we all are cracked crystals, flawed, but still beautiful.